She felt the weight before she opened her eyes, a slow, heavy pressure pressing down on her stomach, as if something, or someone, had been standing on her while she slept. And then, she saw them. Footprints. Tiny, dusty, footprints, moving in a perfect trail across her skin. Not the footprints of a child, no. These were older, sharper, as if carved by something that did not belong in this world. She screamed, but the sound didn't leave her throat. Because deep inside, she already knew. Something had walked across her body in the night, and it was coming back. Amara woke before the sun, her breath trapped halfway in her chest, her eyes refusing to focus as the early dawn filtered weakly through her clay hut. The air felt unusually cold, unnatural, pressed against her skin like damp fingers. She tried to sit up, but an ache in her stomach forced her to stop. Slowly, carefully, she lifted her wrapper. That was when she saw them again, those strange, dusty footprints, etched across her skin like symbols of a forgotten curse. They moved in an unsettling path, from her left rib, across her navel, down to her hip. Each print sharp and clear, each one smaller than a normal adult's, but unmistakably human. Jesus, she whispered, but even her own voice sounded foreign, thin. She brushed her skin, expecting the prints to disappear. They didn't. Instead, the dust smeared slightly, as if the creature that left them had stepped through ash, or grave soil. Outside, a sudden rustling noise stopped her breath. Someone, or something, was walking past her window. She froze, listening. Soft steps, light, careful, almost playful. Then came the whisper, so faint that it felt breathed directly into her ear. I told you, don't sleep facing the door. Her blood turned cold. No one was inside the hut, and the whisper was not a voice she recognized. Amara staggered out of bed, her legs trembling beneath her. She wrapped her cloth tightly and pushed open her door with slow, fearful hands. The village was unusually silent, no early chatter, no roosters, just a heavy, unsettling stillness that made her heart beat faster. Her mother, Mama Yugo, was already outside, sweeping the compound with her worn broom. But when she lifted her head and saw her daughter's face, her hand froze mid-air. Amara, what is it? She asked, her voice breaking. Amara opened her cloth just enough to reveal the faint marks. Her mother gasped, the broom dropping from her hand. Not again, Mama Yugo whispered, taking a step back. Again? Amara breathed, panic rising. What do you mean, again? Her mother didn't answer immediately. Her eyes darted left and right, scanning the far corners of the compound as if checking for someone watching. Then she hurried Amara back inside, locking the door behind them. Don't ever sleep facing the entrance, Mama Yugo said, her voice trembling. I told you that when you were a child. You think I was joking? Mom, what is happening to me? Mama Yugo swallowed hard. Her next words made Amara's skin crawl. When you were 3, you used to wake with these same footprints. Your grandmother believed something was visiting you. Something we never understood. Amara shook her head. Why didn't you ever tell me? Before her mother could answer, a soft thud hit the roof of the hut. Both women froze. Another thud, then another, like tiny feet running across the thatched roof in circles. Something was up there. Listening. The sound moved quickly, pattering from one side of the roof to the other, light and rhythmic, like a small creature dancing hurriedly above their heads. Amara clung to her mother, trembling, as the roof rustled under the strange steps, dry grass falling in tiny showers around them. Mama Yugo held her breath. Don't move, don't speak, she whispered. But the visitor didn't wait. A shadow slid across the single patch of morning light on the floor, thin, childlike, but wrong, its shape stretching unnaturally long and bending in angles no human body could make. Amara's heartbeat thundered in her ears. Then the footsteps stopped. Silence. Deep, heavy, suffocating. Until something pressed down on the roof directly above Amara, calmly, deliberately, as if lying flat and listening to her breath through the thin thatch. "Who is that?" Amara whispered. Her mother shook her head. "Not who, what?" A long crack sounded as the roof fibers shifted. Dust fell. The shape above them slowly moved toward the spot where Amara was standing. Suddenly, Mama Yugo grabbed her hand and dragged her backward. Out. Now. The moment they stepped out of the hut, something inside shifted violently, like a creature scrambling away from the doorway, retreating into the darkness they left behind. When Amara turned to look, her footprints, her own, were leading out of the hut. But beneath them, faint and fresh, were a second set. Small. Bare. Dusty. Walking directly behind hers. Following her. Mama Yugo didn't waste a second. She dragged Amara past the cooking shed, past the well, straight toward the elder's compound. Elder Okari was the only man who understood mysterious things, the one everyone whispered had seen what others could not. But when they arrived, he sat outside sharpening a knife slowly, deliberately, as if he knew they were coming. "Elder," Mama Yugo called. "Please. We need help." He didn't look up. "You brought her, didn't you?" Amara swallowed. "Sir," footprints appeared on my stomach. He raised one hand. "Don't describe it. I already know." The women exchanged terrified glances. Finally he looked at Amara, his eyes cold and sorrowful. "You should have stayed away from the forest path last month." Amara stiffened. I only passed through once." Elder Okari nodded. "And did you greet the old stump? Or did you ignore it?" "I didn't know I was supposed to." "That stump is not a stump," the elder snapped. "It is a doorway. And something noticed you." Amara felt the air shift around her, growing heavier. "What is following me?" she whispered. Elder Okari stood slowly, staring at the rising sun as if calculating time. "It is not following you," he said. "It has claimed you. And tonight, at exactly midnight, it will come for the rest of what it started." Amara felt her knees weaken. "Please, tell me what it wants." The elder took a deep breath. "To finish walking its pathway on your body." Amara staggered backward. "Pathway? What pathway?" Mama Yugo began crying silently, unable to meet her daughter's eyes. Elder Okari watched her carefully, then sighed deeply. "Your mother should have told you long ago." "Mama?" Amara whispered. "What didn't you tell me?" Mama Yugo wiped her tears, her voice trembling. "You were born during the night of the crossing, the night the veil is thinnest. I was warned never to sleep with you facing the door. But I was young, foolish, tired. I made a mistake. And something entered the room, something old, something curious." Amara felt her heart break. "What came in?" Mama Yugo hesitated. "A traveler, from the other side. They leave signs, footprints, only on those they choose." "Choose for what?" Elder Okari answered for her. "To finish a journey it couldn't complete in its own world." Amara shook her head. "Why me? I never asked for any of this." The elder bent down and picked up a handful of dust from the ground, fresh, damp, strange. When he opened his fist, the dust moved as if stirred by invisible feet, scattering in tiny patterns. "You see this?" he said, voice low. "It is already near you. It is already walking." A cold breeze brushed Amara's back. She turned sharply. There, behind her legs, was a faint, fresh footprint, appearing in the dirt right before her eyes. And no one was standing there. Elder Okari watched the footprint fade slowly into the dirt, then pressed his bare foot over it, grinding it away as if afraid the earth itself might remember. The morning sun had climbed higher now, yet the air around Amara felt colder than before. "You must not be alone tonight," the elder said quietly, his voice stripped of authority and filled with something closer to fear. "Whatever walks you, walks strongest after midnight." Amara's throat tightened. "Then let me stay here, with you, with the elders." He shook his head slowly. "No. It knows where you are born. It knows your blood. It will always find you." Mama Yugo reached for Amara's hand. "What do we do?" she whispered. The elder looked toward the forest, toward the narrow path Amara had taken weeks earlier, the path she thought was harmless. "You return home before sunset," he said. "You lock your door. You turn your bed away from the entrance. And whatever you hear tonight, no matter how familiar, no matter how gentle." He paused, choosing his words carefully. "You must not answer." Amara felt her stomach twist. What if it comes inside, like before? The elder's eyes darkened. "Then it means it has permission." "Permission from who?" Amara asked. He looked at her mother. Mama Yugo burst into tears. And that was when Amara understood. This was no longer just about footprints. It was about a mistake that had followed her into adulthood, and was now ready to collect its debt. The path back to Amara's hut felt longer than it ever had. The sun hung low, casting stretched shadows that moved too slowly, too deliberately, as though watching her pass. Every step Amara took, she listened, waiting to hear another pair behind her. Mama Yugo walked close, whispering prayers under her breath, clutching her wrapper tightly as if something might grab her from behind. Halfway home, Amara stopped. Mama Yugo turned sharply. "What is it?" Amara looked down. In the soft red dirt, her footprints were clear. But just behind them, barely touching, were smaller ones. Fresh. Perfect. Keeping pace. Mama Yugo covered her mouth to keep from screaming. "It followed us from the elder's place," Amara whispered. "No," her mother said quickly. "Don't say that. Don't give it a name." But the footprints continued, stopping when they stopped, moving when they moved, playful, patient. When they reached the hut, Amara turned suddenly. The footprints stopped too. Then, slowly, one small print appeared, right at her doorstep. As if whatever followed her, was politely waiting to be invited inside. Mama Yugo slammed the door shut. Darkness came early that evening. The wind pressed against the hut, rattling the walls softly, whispering through the cracks. Mama Yugo lit a small oil lamp and placed it near Amara's bed. "Sleep sideways," she instructed gently. "Don't face the door. No matter what." Amara nodded, though sleep felt impossible. As the night deepened, the village sounds faded. No laughter. No dogs. No insects. Just silence, thick and watching. Then, a sound. Soft. Dry. Tap, tap, tap. Not on the door. Not on the wall. On the floor. Inside the hut. Amara's eyes flew open. Mama Yugo was already sitting upright, frozen, staring at the ground. Between them, faint dusty footprints were forming, one by one, as if something invisible had stepped down from the air itself. They moved slowly, deliberately, circling the room. Amara clutched her stomach, feeling the familiar pressure again, heavier now, more confident. Then the whisper came, not from outside, not from the roof, but from right beside her ear. "You grew, but you never left me." Amara couldn't move. She couldn't scream. Her body felt pinned, held in place by an invisible weight pressing her down. The oil lamp flickered violently, casting twisted shadows that bent the walls. Mama Yugo tried to pray, but her words tangled, breaking apart before they could leave her mouth. The footprints stopped moving. Then, pressure. Heavy. Direct. Amara gasped as something stepped onto her stomach, slowly, deliberately, just like before. Her skin burned. She felt the shape, the toes, the full weight. Tears streamed down her face as the whisper returned, clearer now, deeper, older. This is where I stopped, this is where you will carry me forward. The pressure lifted. Amara collapsed forward, gasping for breath. Mama Yugo rushed to her side, lifting her wrapper with shaking hands. There, on Amara's stomach. The footprints had changed. They were darker now. Deeper. And they formed a clear path, leading upward, toward her chest. Mama Yugo screamed. The wind howled suddenly, bursting through the cracks in the hut, extinguishing the lamp. Darkness swallowed the room whole. Amara lay trembling, clutching her stomach, feeling a strange warmth spread beneath her skin, as if something was settling in, getting comfortable. Mama Yugo lit the lamp again with shaking fingers, her face pale. The elder was right, she whispered. It's not just walking on you anymore. Amara swallowed hard. Then what is it doing? Mama Yugo looked at the footprints, then at her daughter's eyes, and finally spoke the truth she had buried for years. It is marking a route, she said softly. A way out, and a way in. Amara's breath hitched. Into what? Her mother's voice broke. Into you. Outside the hut, a single footprint appeared in the dirt, right in front of the door. Then another. And another. Walking away. As if whatever had entered Amara, no longer needed to follow her from the outside. Because it had already begun the journey. From within. Sleep did not come easily, but exhaustion has a cruel way of winning. Amara lay on her side, as instructed, her back to the door, her stomach tight with a dull, burning ache. Mama Yugo sat beside her, counting prayer beads slowly, her lips moving without sound. Sometime after midnight, Amara drifted. And then, she felt it. Movement, not on her skin, but under it. A slow shifting, like something stretching its legs after a long journey. Her breath caught in her throat. She wanted to scream, but her voice dissolved before it reached her mouth. Inside her mind, a presence stirred. Not violent. Not rushed. Patient. You are warm, the voice murmured, calm, intimate. Warmer than the last place. Amara's eyes flew open. The hut looked the same, but felt wrong. The shadows clung thicker to the walls, and the oil lamp burned lower, its flame bending toward her stomach as if drawn by it. She clutched her belly, feeling a faint pulse beneath her palm. Not her heartbeat. Another. Mama Yugo slept, head bowed, unmoving. Leave me, Amara whispered. The voice responded gently. I walked far to finish my path. I will not turn back now. A sharp pain cut through her abdomen, brief, precise, like a line being drawn. Amara gasped. And in that moment, she understood. The footprints were no longer marks. They were doors. Morning came heavy and gray. Amara woke soaked in sweat, her wrapper twisted, her body aching as though she had labored through the night. Mama Yugo was already awake, watching her with red, sleepless eyes. You spoke in your sleep, her mother said quietly. Not in your voice. Amara swallowed. It spoke to me. Mama Yugo nodded slowly, as if she had expected this answer. She led Amara outside, not to the elder's compound, but behind the hut, where old things were buried. Broken pots. Ancestral charms. Secrets no one used anymore. There are stories the elders don't tell, Mama Yugo said, kneeling painfully. Not because they forgot, but because they were afraid. She dug until her fingers hit wood. A small box. Inside. Dried leaves, white chalk, and a faded strip of cloth marked with tiny footprints. These are called Nzo Ukwu, she whispered. Pathwalkers. Spirits that cannot finish crossing into our world unless a living body carries them. Amara felt cold spread through her chest. And when they finished the path, she asked. Mama Yugo closed her eyes. They leave, and take what helped them walk. Amara's voice trembled. What do they take? Her mother looked at her. The breath that makes you you. That evening, the pain returned. Sharper this time. Amara screamed as her body arched violently, her stomach burning as though something pressed outward from within. Mama Yugo held her down, crying, helpless. Then. A sound. Soft. Wet. Like a foot stepping into mud. On Amara's stomach, one of the footprints lifted. Not faded. Not smeared. Lifted. It peeled itself away from her skin, hovering just above her flesh, glowing faintly, alive. Mama Yugo screamed. The footprint pressed itself onto the floor. Then another followed. One by one, the marks left Amara's body, forming a trail across the hut, leading toward the door. Amara collapsed, gasping, empty, cold. But the pain didn't stop. Because something else remained. The final footprint, larger than the others, stayed behind, pulsing beneath her ribs. The voice returned, stronger now. Half the path is complete. The door creaked. From the inside. Mama Yugo did not touch the door. She didn't need to. It opened slowly, gently, as though guided by an unseen hand that knew exactly how much sound to make. Outside, the village stood silent, frozen, as if holding its breath. The footprints on the floor continued outward, into the dirt, glowing faintly, forming a road no one else could see. Amara struggled to sit up. What happens now? She whispered. Mama Yugo shook her head, tears streaming. The last walker decides, she said. Whether to leave fully, or stay. The air shifted. The final footprint beneath Amara's skin pressed upward, painfully, forcing a scream from her throat. Her vision blurred. And then. Silence. The pressure vanished. Amara lay still, shaking, empty. Outside, the footprints began to fade. Mama Yugo rushed to her daughter's side, shaking her. Amara, talk to me, please. Amara opened her eyes. They were calm. Too calm. She smiled. And Mama Yugo screamed. Because the smile was not her daughter's. By sunrise, the footprints were gone. The village slowly returned to life, unaware that something ancient had passed through in the night. Mama Yugo sat alone outside the hut, staring at the ground, rocking back and forth. Amara emerged quietly, standing in the doorway. She looked normal. Too normal. Mother, she said softly, her voice steady, unfamiliar. Why are you crying? Mama Yugo turned, searching her daughter's eyes, hoping, praying. But when she looked closely, she saw it. No reflection of the sun. No warmth. Just depth, endless, walking. Mama Yugo whispered, broken. Did it finish its journey? Amara tilted her head, smiling gently. Yes, she said. And I am the road it left behind. She stepped forward. Her footprints touched the dirt. And for just a moment, another set appeared beneath them, faint, dusty, patient, waiting for the next body to wake up marked. By sunrise, the footprints were gone. No marks on the ground. No dust. No trail. The village woke slowly, women fetching water, men sharpening tools, children laughing, unaware that something ancient had crossed through the night and left nothing behind. Nothing, except Amara. She stood in the doorway of the hut, silent, watching the village breathe. Her skin was smooth now, no footprints, no scars. Just calm, unnatural calm. Mama Yugo approached carefully, her heart pounding. "Amara," she called. Her daughter turned. She smiled. And Mama Yugo felt her knees weaken, because the smile came a second too late, as if Amara first decided to smile, then remembered how. "Is it over?" Mama Yugo whispered. "Did it leave you?" Amara stepped forward. Her bare foot touched the dirt. A footprint appeared. Not hers. Small, dusty, sharp-edged. Mama Yugo gasped. Then, Amara lifted her other foot. Another footprint formed beneath it. Perfect. Balanced. Walking. Mama Yugo screamed, backing away. Amara looked down, curious, almost pleased. "Oh," she said softly. "So this is how it ends." She took another step. The footprint followed. And another. Then, Amara stopped, turned, and looked directly at her mother. "No," she corrected gently. "This is how it continues." She walked into the village. And with every step she took, something else, unseen, walked just behind her, leaving footprints. Only the chosen would ever wake up to find. At first, nothing seemed wrong. Amara walked through the village as she always had, past the well, past the old mango tree, past women who greeted her by name. She answered them correctly, smiled when expected, nodded at the right moments. But people began to feel it. A strange unease, subtle, crawling. Dogs refused to cross her path. They whimpered, pulling at their ropes, tails tucked tightly beneath them. Chickens scattered wildly whenever she passed, feathers flying, eyes wide with panic. Old men paused mid-sentence when she drew near, forgetting what they were saying. Children stopped playing, staring silently, as if listening to something adults could not hear. Mama Yugo watched all of this from a distance, her heart cracking with every step her daughter took. Amara's shadow did not match her movements. When she stopped, it lingered a moment longer. When she turned, it bent slightly late. And sometimes, just sometimes, it showed bare feet, even when Amara wore sandals. That evening, a woman screamed near the stream. She had gone to bathe, only to find small dusty footprints forming on her thighs, one by one, as if something invisible was climbing. By nightfall, 3 more women complained of the same thing. The elders whispered. Mama Yugo knew. The path was spreading. Elder Okari summoned Amara at dusk. He studied her without blinking, chalk clutched tightly in his trembling hand. The moment she stepped into his compound, the air shifted, thick, heavy, watchful. "You finished the journey," he said quietly. Amara tilted her head. "We did." The elder flinched. He drew a protective circle quickly, muttering prayers older than language. "You are not meant to stay," he warned. "Pathwalkers pass through, they do not remain." Amara smiled gently. "But what if the road breaks?" she asked. "What if the path needs maintenance?" The chalk cracked. Elder Okari's eyes widened as he finally saw it. Tiny footprints, forming inside the circle, breaking it from within. "You're not carrying one anymore," he whispered. "You're teaching it to walk." Amara stepped closer. The elder collapsed, gasping, clutching his chest. As his body hit the earth, a final set of dusty footprints appeared beside him, then faded. By morning, Elder Okari was dead. And the elders agreed on one thing. Amara must leave the village. They sent Amara away before dawn, quietly, quickly, afraid of what might happen if the sun rose fully. Mama Yugo followed at a distance, crying silently, watching her daughter walk down the red earth road alone. But something was wrong. The farther Amara walked, the more footprints appeared. Not just behind her. Beside her. Ahead of her. Crossing the road, vanishing into the bushes, climbing trees, stepping into places no feet should reach. The forest stirred. Branches creaked without wind. Leaves crushed under invisible weight. Amara stopped. She closed her eyes, breathing deeply. This world is full of unfinished journeys, she murmured. And then, she turned, and walked back toward the village. Mama Yugo screamed for her to stop. Amara didn't. Because the road no longer chose where she went. The road followed her. That night, the village changed. People woke suddenly, hearts racing, stomachs burning. Mothers screamed, fathers prayed, children cried. Footprints appeared. On skin. On walls. On ceilings. Tiny. Dusty. Patient. No one saw anything. But everyone felt it. Mama Yugo lay awake, shaking, refusing to face the door. She whispered her daughter's name until her voice broke. Just before dawn, she felt it. A soft, familiar weight, settling gently on her stomach. Tears streamed down her face. Amara, she whispered. The answer came, warm, calm, loving. Sleep, Mama, the path is almost complete. Years later, travelers avoid the village. Not because it is abandoned. But because people there wake up marked. No one knows why some are chosen. No one knows how it starts. Only this rule remains. Never sleep facing the door. Because sometimes, when the night is quiet, and the air turns cold, a woman walks. And behind her, something ancient follows. Learning how to walk on its own.